So, mine's going to take just a few moments here because, well, somebody special called me up one time a couple of years ago and said, hey man, I'm missing some things in my life and I kind of gotta get back to that. So, first off, let's give one more round of applause for Connie and for IJ. Now, tonight we celebrate somebody whose journey to professional wrestling didn't actually start inside a wrestling ring. It began in December 1973 when he popped his little feet onto the floor for the first time as a wee little baby. By 1982, his family has moved over to Jacksonville, and that's where it started. Our Savior and Ralph playing basketball and football from junior high all the way to high school. He was named the most improved player his senior year in football and the MVP in basketball. The guy's like 6'5". What do you expect? Now, he would want me to tell you this, that both teams sucked. But sometimes greatness starts in places where scoreboards don't tell a full story. What mattered wasn't wins and losses. What mattered was toughness, commitment, heart, and love of competition. Moving on to college at Truman State University, which at the time was Northeast Missouri State University, he decided to try his hand at rugby. And he was on a national team that was coached by Bill Sexton. He played on the B-side. Now, if anybody knows what sports is, the B-side is usually JV. Now, I don't know why they would put this guy on JV because this guy's a monster. You don't win character for being a star. You do by grinding, competing, and showing up. Now, here's an interesting fact. While still at Truman, he missed by 1 year being in school with Glenn Jacobs. Does anybody know who Glenn Jacobs is? That is Kane for people who don't know. He missed being in school with Kane by 1 year. Could you imagine them two as a tag team in professional wrestling? After college, he tried his hands at some restaurant business. He played for the Springfield Celts rugby team before he found his true calling, which was back on the gridiron, playing semi-pro football. Now, this gentleman started playing semi-pro football in 1994. I was a freshman in high school. That's how old this guy is. 19 seasons, 7 teams, 8 different leagues. I stood across the gridiron line in his hometown on IC College Field one time, and I'm telling you, that guy was a hit. 21 years of age, till he hit the age of 37, playing both spring and fall seasons for nearly 2 decades. It wasn't just what he did, that's who he was. As tonight's moniker, the All-American in 2003, he was a national champion by 2005. He was inducted into the AFA Hall of Fame in 2010, and even got a Hall of Fame nod for the minor league football in 2014. And tonight, he's going to add a Pinfall Hall of Fame to that list as well.
That's right.
He took photos for News Channel 20 at one time, got a communications degree from UIS, and built a very successful financial career. Folks, tonight isn't about football, because those days are long gone. One day in 2014, I got a message, and this is what I read. Man, I miss the intensity. I miss the brotherhood. I miss the competition. I miss the passion. I miss the locker room. I even miss some trash talk. Trust me, he knew the lingo. Brent told me his wife Tiffany were going on a date one night. Lo and behold, his date was to come to a hot dark, dingy, stinky, hot JC's Hall to watch Pinfall wrestling. He stepped in the ring for the first time, and now besides Brent sneaking us all out with his biofreeze, he found his third win. Pinfall Academy. For those of you who know about Pinfall Academy, you know what it was like. Set up, tear down, cold, rain, snow, sleet, it didn't matter. But he made it to Pinfall Academy. Fast forward. That's why tonight matters. This Hall of Fame Induction is not just about championships, awards, or even years spent competing. It's about perseverance, heart. This person dedicated his life to sports while finding his second family. You don't have to be loud or flashy. There's people that's never stopped showing up, never stopped running the business never stopped supporting the people in it, and never stopped fighting for things that you care about. Tonight, we here at Pinfall Wrestling have the pleasure of honoring that kind of a man. I have the pleasure to call this man a friend.
Got it.
A confidant. Whether it was on a field or it's inside this ring, a brother for life. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and my privilege to induct him into the Pinfall Wrestling Hall of Fame. The American Brent Dunn!
Found that old text?
Yes, I did. I scoured.
14 years ago. That's exactly what it said. It's exactly what it said. I have lost passion in my life for something that other people are passionate about. I have some words. For those of you who know me, nobody's ever called Brent Dunn a technician, so promos were my strength, so be ready. Most of you probably don't know me. Many of you are surprised to see me here in the wrestling. But I guarantee you're surprised to see me inducted into the PWA, Pinfall Wrestling Hall of Fame. But none of you can be more surprised than I was when I got the call for Billy Alexander. I am humbled and I'm honored to be here tonight. Years from now, when you're talking about the person who, I'll be the Harold Baines of this Hall of Fame if I have to be. I am glad to be here, and I can't believe I get to share that honor with the people here. I joked with Billy that my submission tape was probably 10 minutes of solid promos, no wrestling whatsoever. But speaking of it, he's the first person that I have to thank tonight. There's quite a few. I'll do my best. He did infect me with this itch. This itch. 19 years of football though, this itch to be in the locker room. This itch to push my limits. This itch to reintroduce myself to true passion, truly passionate people. The itch to wake up sore the next day. Know you did something. And the itch to make sure that you had a chance to have some beers with some guys who just trying to kill about 3 hours before. He helped me, and he hyped me. And he bet on me, and we both know there were a lot of people who did. I was 40 years and 9 months old when I wrestled my first match. He bet on me. There were only 2 graduates in my first round of Pinfall Academy. I was one of them who hadn't wrestled before. I'm going to thank Jared McCaffrey. I know I haven't seen him tonight, but I'll tell you what, he was my trainer. He was the perfect trainer for me. Pinfall Academy is the feather in the cap of this organization. They're not all still around here, but there are people out there wrestling nationwide who came from the Pinfall Academy. And the wonderful trainers we had there, Jared and wrestling. But he knew how to motivate me, he knew how to push my limits. He didn't accept excuses for age. He didn't accept any excuses. But he always stopped 1 inch short of discouraging me, making me doubt myself or my ability to do this. He made me want to be better, and he showed me how to get better. I'm going to thank my family. I saw them earlier, I don't know where they ended up at. There they are, they're standing now. My son Brock, who used to play with his action figures when I was in training, is now finishing up his sophomore year at the University of Missouri. He has a lifelong love of professional wrestling, and most of that is due to pinfall wrestling. My daughter Brent, who today, one round of applause for an audience number 9. Today she placed first in the track sectional with a personal record qualified for state for 7th grade soccer. My wife Tiffany, who, quite frankly, when I told her I wanted to be a professional wrestler, and did stay with me after that day, one time told me she was tired of living in the frickin' Brent show. She's like living in a sitcom every day and woke up and had to live in the Brent show. She said, I'm living with a 42-year-old man who's a professional wrestler. She was right. It was a lot. Many others to thank. Jared Allen, you were like a little brother to me, man. You took every bit of heat. Remember, we wrestled together as a tag team. I never took an ounce. And you drove me everywhere because I needed to medicate with beers in my 40s after a match. And not only that, but you let me, the girlfriend at the time, who's now the lovely wife of both of your daughters, as my driver during my ring appearances, just so I could scream at her before, during, and after every match. There's a lot of others. Sean Justin, Ben Danner, Scotty Clark, Annie Erlichin, John Leonard, Brian Ely, Kyle Wharton, Rob, Derek Moss, Harold Casey Jackson, Roscoe, known as Warren Johnson. Wrestled our first match together. He's gone on to so many bigger and better things. He's known nationwide now, but I always get to be his Marty's men. 2 other people that we'll mention, and I know that you'll know, but we'll mention them in a different way. And that's Tom Jackson and Chris Barrow. I've never spent time with a true fighter or more giving people in my entire life, and it's a travesty that they were taken from us so soon. I emulate both of them in my life every day. It's weird standing here in this, but something to do can come full circle. Billy and I talked about why I'm here tonight, and I want you to know he said something to me that touched me deeply. He said that even though I was a rookie, I was a veteran presence in that locker room at 40 years old. I couldn't teach these kids one thing about wrestling. They could teach me everything, but I could teach them a little about life. I could teach them about how to conduct yourself. I can teach you about not selling yourself short, and I can teach them about how important it was to be true to what you believe in. How to handle difficult situations. And this is a business where we're told that nice guys finish last. Nice guys finish last. Hey, look out for yourself. Take what you can get, don't give anything. That's what people say about this business. I'm gonna tell you something right now. This promotion, its locker room, is not that way. It is not that way. Give them a round of applause. At 40 years old, I had a career, I had a family, I had a job. And everybody in that locker room knew that this for me was maybe a little bit of a hobby. But I was passionate about it. I worked my butt off. I wanted to be as good as them. And what I knew was that there were guys in that locker room who were so much better than me, who could go so far, so much farther, could do so much more, but they weren't going to be able to do it if all they could get was hot domination. I never took $1 from wrestling for any promotion I ever wrestled for. Not one. If it was insisted on giving it to me, it went to my partner, my opponent, or my valet. Every single time. Sorry, I'm gonna break it. I sold for everybody, man. I sold for everybody. If you have to make somebody else look bad and look good, folks, you're doing it wrong. I'm gonna say that again. If you have to make somebody else look bad so you look good, you are doing it wrong. If you can't give as much as you take, you are doing it wrong. And sometimes, even in wrestling, even in that cutthroat business of wrestling, where everybody looks out for themselves, and everybody gets over on everybody else, when you can become part of somebody else's success, when you can invest in it, when you can participate in it, and you can be proud of your part in it, people do notice. And if you need proof of that, folks, you're looking at it. Thank you very much.
Hey, so I've got one last surprise for you, Brent. Kluge, press play.
Yo, the All-American Brent Dunn. What's going on, man? My first ever tag team partner. The man that I tagged with in our first ever match. You remember that day? Because I remember it like it was yesterday, man. You know, us getting ready together, us training together leading up to that day. You know, we're in the back, getting ready to go out there, and I remember distinctively you pulled out this bag of rings from your glory days on the gridiron, from your glory days on the football field, right? You had one for each finger, and you know, that always just stood out to me, man. You got a fistful of rings, you got, you know, a room full of trophies, you got a plethora of awards, man. And it's only fitting that you have one more award, one more ring, one more trophy to the mansion, man. Tonight, you are inducted into the PWA Hall of Fame, and I just wanted to send you a quick message, man. Send you some love, send you some peace, some blessings, man. Shout out to you. Congratulations, my man. And I also want to shout out the PWA family. I miss you guys so much. You guys were my start, and I got nothing but love for you. I got nothing but love for the All-American Brent Dunn. So tonight, man, congratulations. You are now in the Pinfall Wrestling Association